What is your learning style, and what study strategies will you continue to use as a college student?
Well, I would say that my learning style, I'm a very visual learner. I like to see what I'm working on. I use lots and lots of different outlets, like Khan Academy, for example, if I'm struggling with something. It's a really good resource for someone like me, a visual learner, to use.
What is one short term and one long term goal you have as a college student, and how do you plan to achieve each goal?
Well, I would say for the short term goal, I definitely want to get a 4.0 for each semester. The way that I would go about completing that would be just making sure I have A's in all my classes, turning in assignments on time, and just an overall making sure that it's an A in the class. For the long term, it's similar to the short term. For long term, it would pretty much just be that making sure all of my classes are A's, and each semester I consecutively get that 4.0. Because in the case that I don't, I can no longer achieve that 4.0 status. So I really need to make sure I'm on top of my game.
Which of the 7 habits of highly successful college students discussed in this course are helpful for you as a student?
I would definitely have to say time management. Time management, we worked on quite a bit on the course. I reference it in lots of my future letter to me journal entries. And I really feel like it's one of the areas that I struggle with in life as well as in school. And this class has really helped me to gain more of a controlled handle on it from lots and lots of different assignments, like when we went over the 7 habits of it, it really brought up to my attention just at how, I don't want to say poorly, but just at how disproportionate it was to the other habits that we've studied.
What will you do personally to stay motivated as a college student in each of your classes?
I would say it's a combination of different actions. 2 of which are, I would say, writing down lists. For someone personally like me, writing down lists is extremely helpful. I have to do it for all of my classes. I have to have a list for homework, have a list for what I have to do in the homework. Just even a calendar, I would kind of consider sort of just a list of the days. The most important aspect of the list is making sure that you mark stuff off, because it really gives you that sense of achievement to go and do the next item on the list itself. I saw it was a video of I believe a Marine, and he was talking about what he did over the time to make and feel himself accomplished. And he said that the first thing he would do would be to make his bed, so he achieved something that day. And so that would be sort of the first thing in my list, so I could feel that sense of achievement, and it wouldn't discourage me. The second action I would take would be definitely staying connected in college. I think that that's extremely important. One of the ways that I actually referenced it already was we had to go and look up several events or clubs or organizations, and that was actually an assignment in the class. And in doing that, I saw a women's basketball game, and I think that sports events are extremely helpful to kind of get into the community itself, as well as to really connect with the school, because it's really a different community when you go into a sports event. It's not like school where everybody's mutually obligated to do, to be nice to you. People can be rude to you, but they aren't, because that's the environment. You want your team to win, so everybody is on this page of just happiness, and it really makes the organization and the school itself a better place to be. So I would definitely say that that would be a way of staying connected in college.
What is your career or educational goal after completing your courses at Northwest Vista College?
Well, I would say that my career goal would be to definitely to get into some form of business, because that is my major, but for the educational goal, because I think that would probably come before the career. For my educational goal, it would definitely be getting into, once I graduate Northwest Vista, getting into the business program at UTSA. They have an extremely good business program, and I feel like that could really lead a path to possibly an internship, which is where I personally would really like to go, really get that experience into the field that I could potentially be in one day. And the field itself is business, and business has lots and lots of internships, but I feel that some of them wouldn't be less, but that the school could provide me with better options for internships. And through the internships would actually be my career goal of getting into business itself. And to get into, because you can't really get into business without either knowing someone or getting your foot in the door, and the internship would really, really help me get my foot in the door with all kinds of different business programs. So I was actually, my father is a CFO of a company, and I've asked him to even help me to maybe go to his job a couple of days a week to just really start getting that experience. So when I do eventually start the internship, I'm not at a point where I don't know what's going on. Do you have any other questions for me?
What kind of an internship would you like to have if you could design it for yourself?
Well, I would say that it would be more of a supervising job, not as if I'm above someone else, but just or an observation would be a better word to use. Just to be able to observe someone who's at the place that I'd like to be, see what they do, see how they do it, really learn from their experiences itself. That is definitely my ideal internship.
Now, what skills do you possess right now that you think lend themselves well to being a leader?
Well, I am an Eagle Scout. I've been a leader pretty much in leadership all of my life. I was recently at a job where I was the customer service manager, and in that aspect I controlled the entire front half of the Walmart, the store. I had to make sure that all the cashiers were good. I had to make sure that they all had tills if they had questions, and I would deal with customers that had problems.